It is now my honor to introduce our North Carolina Governor, Stein.
Wonderful job. Thank you for your introduction. Thank you for your powerful words. I also want to thank Senator Batch, Representative Reeves, and Reverend Galliard for being here and speaking so movingly about this most fundamental of rights, our right to have our voice be heard by our government. This room is an inspiring sight. Thank you all for being here. As I look around, what I see is power. People like you power our democracy. I know it, you know it, and the General Assembly knows it. That's why legislators are trying to make it harder for you to vote and for your vote to count, because they know they have not delivered for you. They know that the state budget was 2 years overdue, and that for most folks, it does not keep pace with inflation. They know they're making your utility bills more expensive when they are already too high. They know they're taking scarce public dollars out of the backpacks of our public school kids to put into the bank accounts of well-to-do parents sending their children to unaccountable private schools. They know they are more focused on giving tax breaks to the wealthy and to out-of-state corporate shareholders than putting more money into your pockets. They know they haven't raised the minimum wage in 17 years. And they know they've focused on culture wars that divide and distract us from how little progress they have made. So rather than to make your life better, they want to make it harder for you to hold them accountable for their failures. But we are here today because we can stop this anti-voter law. Here's what's wrong with the bill. They make it harder to vote early. They're slicing a full week off of early voting in the primary. About 200,000 North Carolinians voted in the first week of early voting this year. And if you vote early in the general elections, this bill makes it easier for partisan officials to throw out your vote for up to 3 days after the election is over. More than 4 million North Carolinians voted early in 2024. It is far and away the most popular way that folks vote in our general election. Who here has voted early? So if you are lawfully registered, show your ID and vote early, some sore loser could still try to throw it out after the election is over. Your leaders should respect your vote, not restrict it. And I want to add some context to what Senator Batch and Representative Reeves said about putting this into some historical context, because this is part of a years-long effort by Republicans in the General Assembly of partisan attacks on our elections and on your vote. This is the same body that passed a monster voter suppression law that the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals threw out, concluding that it targeted black voters with, quote, almost surgical precision. It was wrong. The state should be about making it easier for eligible voters to participate, not harder. They've also spent the past decade and a half gerrymandering our district maps to discriminate against certain voters. In 2022, the North Carolina Supreme Court ruled that partisan gerrymandering violated our state constitution. And the state's congressional delegation in our 50-50 state was 7 Republicans and 7 Democrats. Just 5 months later, after Republicans took back the state Supreme Court, and without any change in the law or the facts of that case, the new court simply threw out its precedent, its prior decision, and gave the legislature a blank check to gerrymander districts. And gerrymander they did, turning North Carolina's congressional delegation into one that now favors Republicans, 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats. in a purple 50-50 state. Then last year, the president told the legislature to gerrymander again to try to pick up yet another seat. And the legislature was quick to oblige with yet another map that favors Republicans even more. In our democracy, the people should choose their representatives, not the other way around. Two years ago, Jefferson Griffin, a losing Republican candidate for the Supreme Court, tried to throw out tens of thousands of valid votes to overturn an election he lost. It took a federal judge appointed by President Trump to declare that you do not change the rules of an election after it has taken place. The Republican General Assembly simply does not have confidence that it can win elections on their record. They are scared of you, and they are scared of your vote. Before I even took office, the General Assembly stripped oversight of our elections administration from the governor's office, where it has always been, and gave it to the state auditor, a Republican, where it has never been, not in any state in these United States. Elections administration in North Carolina has always been done by nonpartisan elections professionals. But the auditor has politicized the administration of our elections, appointing the former executive director of the state Republican Party as his liaison to the county boards of elections. These partisans are scared of student voters like Shia, so they went after early voting sites on our college campuses. They're scared of black voters, so they went after Sunday voting. And they're scared of early voters, so they told county boards of elections where to allow early voting and when. It is wrong, and I am fed up. Time and again, they would rather change the rules of our elections to secure advantage than to do the work that the voters expect, which is to improve people's lives. Folks wake up every day, go to work to provide for their families. But when they get home, at the end of the month, they look at their bills trying to figure out which one they can put off till their next paycheck. While you all are doing your jobs, the General Assembly has failed to do its. Their job is to make your life better. A lower cost of living, better public schools, healthier families, safer communities, a brighter future for our children. But because they aren't doing those things, they are trying to avoid accountability. My question to you is, are you going to let them? No. We will not. Our right to vote is precious. It's the fundamental right that underpins every other right that we possess. That's why I will always protect you and your right to vote. And that's why I am vetoing this anti-voter law today. But I need you. If you value your right to vote, call your representatives and tell them to uphold my veto. The bill passed on purely Republican party line vote. Not a single unaffiliated or Democratic representative voted in favor of this bill. We can hold this veto, but we need everyone to show up and to stand up. So please contact your representative, because in this democracy, the power rests with you, the voters, and I intend to keep it that way. I will now veto House Bill 958. Now let's get to work. Thank you.